What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon, and man, oh man, I didn't think we would be at $445 today. That's for damn sure. But I'm not discouraged. I hope you guys aren't either. I know I've seen quite a bit of comments. People are scared, are worried, concerned. But the thing is, man, it's like you shouldn't be concerned, right? This is a higher low. That's all it is. It's just a higher low, right? It's like if we went back to the last cycle that we had, all the way back. It's like if you were scared here, right, at this low, or here at this low. I'm sure over a 3-day period dropping that much, it was scary. I'm sure this low was scary too. I'm sure all of these lows were scary. But if you got scared, all they were higher lows at the end of the day. That's all they were. And you normally found support. These lows, look at that, right around the 123 moving average. Right there. Pretty far above it there, to be fair. Kind of close to it, but right at it there, right? You find resistance around it too, resistance around it as well. Resistance, resistance, resistance all around it, support around it there. Support, 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 time and time again. And if you look right now where we are, we're very close to the 123 right now. I don't think we have to go down there as we've seen before. We don't have to go down there. And it would make sense from a general fib perspective. I was actually just looking at this so I know, to go a little bit lower. It would make sense. But Bitcoin Cash loves to do this thing where it actually will find support or resistance between the 382 and the 0.5. It actually does like this zone a lot. I've noticed that, and I've said this. It's been a while since I've said it, but we don't really have like the most examples to talk about every single day. But I mean, we could probably find an example like right here, you know, low to high right here. You found support. Look at this, literally right above your 0.5, right on it there. Beautiful, perfect move, right? Low to high, same thing right here. This time a little bit, okay, right at your 618, whatever. But low, that same low all the way up here. Oh, wait, no, that's not the appropriate low. This would be the appropriate low to take. Right there above your 0.5 that whole time, right? Literally like that. And then if you move it up to this high, same thing. Right there, right at your 0.5 area. So I'm just saying, and that I don't know if that's the best example, but there's plenty of examples going through this thing's history. I literally did a video like a year ago where we went through the whole history of Bitcoin Cash and found a plethora of examples of it finding lows literally in this exact area that it's at the fibs. But beyond that, as if you need any of that, you've got a previous area of resistance that you're finding support at. You've got a previous area of support that you're finding support at. A previous area of support that you're finding support at. Previous area of resistance. You go back in time, it's a somewhat significant area here. And we're finding support at it now. We've moved down and we have lost volume. We've just died off in volume. You had a very massive move down, a very fast move down compared to your move up. Your move up had increasing volume. Your move down had decreasing volume. I wonder which trend is going to prevail. My guess would be the uptrend. So we're probably that was not supposed to, this was what was supposed to happen, the uptrend. There we go. My guess is that we're going to move up. I don't think we move lower. I'm very confident that that was the low for Bitcoin Cash. 420 was the low right there. I forgot to mention that 420, whoever called for 420 to be the low, good job, right? Dragon Riders, we are definitely blowing some smoke right now, you guys. Huffing and puffing for sure. High to low here, I would expect, and I am expecting that's the low. I don't normally measure like this because I like to see the low play out. I like to confirm that it's the low, but I'm very convinced that that is the low. Even if we go lower, even if I'm wrong, okay, whatever. We can measure it from another day. Maybe it's down a little bit below $400. Maybe that's going to happen, but from here, the next target would be 717 to 830, and I would suspect that we head up and we're up at those areas by probably the end of this year, if not higher. I don't think at this point in time, with how much we've dropped back, it is the 20th of December. I don't know how feasible it is by the end of this month to be above $1,000, and that's a little bit discouraging. But again, you guys, the thing to get discouraged on is not by the end of the year. The thing to get discouraged on is by the end of this move. When the end of this move happens, which I think will be by the end of January, that's when we really need to be above that $1,000 target. And the higher up above that we go, the more likely that 20K target becomes and persists to be. But the further away from those areas that we are, the less likely it is, and the more likely we probably go to 13K or somewhere in between 13K and 20K, right? Or even lower than that. That's possible. You know, we might have to rethink our whole strategy, and that's fine if we have to. But we want to see this thing at higher prices by the end of January, by the end of this move. Not so much necessarily by the end of this year, but it would be nice. The higher up that we are by the end of this year, the better, I think. It's looking at this point in time, we're at 445 right now. If I had to be real with you guys, my expectation would be something around probably, I would think, above this high, but just above this high, probably around 762 to 830. We could be higher. Anything higher is definitely welcome, but Bitcoin Cash does like to move fast whenever it does move fast, or whenever it does move up. It doesn't take a lot of time for it to do phenomenal things, right? We could have a week where we move up 75%. We could have a week where we move up 81%. You know what I mean? We could have back-to-back weeks doing very bullish things, but we don't know how it's going to look. And at this point right now, with how much time is left in the year, I feel like I'm just in denial if I'm saying that we're going to be at $1,000 or more by the end of the year, which is a little bit disappointing. But also, again, taking into consideration that we're not focusing on the end of the year for a price to be significant. We're focusing on the end of this move for the price to be significant. And hopefully by the end of this move, we are not just above $1,000, but somewhere around 1,300 or more. That's kind of the target we're looking for, right? So 445 now coming up. Yes, we've refined the targets a little bit. It's starting to look like that $1,700 to $2,000 target might be off the table. I shouldn't say it's off the table, but it's a lot less likely than it has been, in recent weeks. This month so far, I would say, has not gone at all how I've expected it to go. But we had a little bit of an increase to begin the month, and then really, I should say the first half of the month has been actually a lot of selling, to be completely fair. But going into the month, we had a pump. I was expecting this move to continue going up, and then by this time we'd probably start correcting. I thought it would be a lot quicker, but whatever, man. Who cares? Who cares what I thought? We're in the here and now, reality now, and what we have presented in front of us is telling me that likely we've probably found our low. Likely we are moving up from here, and likely a lot of these targets are still the same. It's just probably not this $1,900 to $1,700 target by the end of January. I think more likely than not, we will be above 1,000. Right now, the goal I would say is probably 1,300 or higher. Anything higher is welcome. I wouldn't say that this is completely off the table, but if I had to give it a percentage chance of like a possibility to happen, I'd say it's like 20% or less, probably like even 18% or less, genuinely. And that's just, who that percentage is just made up in my head, right? Like that's not gauged really by anything, but just on my own personal percentage, whatever. I would say it's not as likely to happen now. The more likely outcome would be that we're here by the end of January, and that's all I got for you guys. Actually, we can look at this real quick. We can do BCH on this real quick. At this weekly right here on this weekly EMA ribbon, it would make sense that you find support right here. It's very, very nice area to find support. Daily ribbon as well. You've gone below it, you've bled below it, but I think you're far enough below it now. While it's still bullishly postured, you probably do have a nice correction over the rest of this week. Probably, you guys, I bet by the end of this week for Bitcoin Cash, by the weekend, we're probably $100 higher than we are now. Like, mark my words, it's Friday today. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, over the next 3 days, Bitcoin Cash will either be at 550 or higher. That's kind of my expectation. And the higher we are, the better, man. I mean, genuinely, if we turn in the next 2 days and 20 hours, guys, if we turn this week around and we have we not only come back up and we close up here, but if we were to bullishly engulf last week, if we were to see some kind of very bullish finish to this week, everything that I've said right before this part goes out the window, right? We're back on 1,700 to 1,900 looks like a likely target by the end of January. It depends on how fast we recover from here. And again, Bitcoin Cash can recover fast. I'm just not counting on it. What I would more expect, and this is still pretty fast, would be a $100 move over the next 3 days, something up here. That would give us a weekly close, like right at where the week opened, and that would set us up very nice for the end of the year, going into the beginning of next year to see this move play out. So that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. With the amount that we've dropped in Bitcoin Cash, we've actually gotten rid of this bullish cross. It's not present anymore, but I think by the next 3 days, it'll come back online. We still have 12 days left in the month to close, so hopefully we can pull this up a little bit and get this bullish cross one way or another. I think it's going to happen, and that will be a very powerful signal that will probably attract a lot of investors and confidence in people in the space. So with that, I'll leave you. Hit the like button. Bye-bye. Take care.